What's up, guys? It's been a while since we have had Zeblaze smartwatches on our channel Tech Brothers, but I couldn't pass up the new rugged watches Zeblaze Stratos 4 and the Zeblaze Vibe 8. At first, I wanted to make separate videos about each of these smartwatches, but the comparison should be more interesting for you, right? You know, Zeblaze Stratos 4 is actually a flagship smartwatch of the company because it has a rugged design, a built-in GPS, AMOLED display, Bluetooth phone calls, more than 170 workout modes, up to 60 days of battery life, and other features. At the same time, its price is only $55. As for the Zeblaze Vibe 8, it costs almost half as much, just $32, but it also has a rugged design, AMOLED display, Bluetooth phone calls, up to 60 days of battery life. But it doesn't have a built-in GPS, as well as compass and barometric altimeter. By the way, both smartwatches have built-in flashlights, which is a new feature. I haven't seen this before in the Zeblaze watches. So the Zeblaze Stratos 4 is probably better for sports than the Zeblaze Vibe 8, and we will check that out in this video. Let's start by unboxing them. As you can see, the smartwatches come in boxes of different shapes, but they are made in the same color and design. By the way, the watches are black on the box, but I actually have a Zeblaze Vibe 8 in desert gray and a Stratos 4 in electric orange. We will talk about that a little later. Opening the box of the Zeblaze Vibe 8, first we see the watch. The strap is detached, and it is really gray color. There is also a magnetic charging cable, user manual, and screen protector in the package. As for Zeblaze Stratos 4, it already comes with a strap attached. The package contents are the same as the other Zeblaze watch, namely a charging cable, user manual, and a screen protector. So far, I don't see any difference between Zeblaze flagship and budget rugged smartwatches. Let's move on to the design. Back to the colors, I have a Zeblaze Stratos 4 in electric orange, but the watch is also available in abyss black. They differ not only in color of the strap, but also in the color of the frame. As for Zeblaze Vibe 8, I have this watch in desert gray, but it also available in abyss black. As you can see, they also have gray and black frames. Overall, I think I can buy black straps for my watches, and they will look good with gray frames. Do you agree? Keep talking about the straps. It seems like they are the same on Zeblaze Stratos 4 and Zeblaze Vibe 8. They are made of durable silicone, and they have metal buckles. In addition, the straps have the same width of 22 mm, so I can swap them around. You know, I was a little surprised to see that the watches have identical back panels. The materials, charging ports, and health tracking sensors are the same here. As for the front panels, they are also pretty much the same, with the only difference being that the Stratos 4 has start, back, cast, set, and a GPS mode ratings on the frame. Here we see that the Zeblaze Stratos 4 has one additional button on the left side that the Vibe 8 doesn't have. However, they have the same two buttons on the right side. Finally, they have built-in flashlights on the top. It seems that the flashlight consists of two LED lights, and they have the same brightness on these watches. You know, the side panels of the Zeblaze Vibe 8 are made of metal, while they are plastic on the Stratos 4. Because of this, the budget smartwatch feels even more premium than the flagship watch. However, they both look the same, and if the Stratos 4 didn't have a third button, I couldn't tell which was which. When it comes to dimensions, the watches are almost identical, with a possible difference of a few millimeters that is not noticeable, 49 by 49 millimeters and a thickness of 14 millimeters. However, the Zeblaze Vibe 8 weighs more than the Stratos 4 because of its metal case, 85 grams and 65 grams respectively. Maybe that's why the Zeblaze Stratos 4 has a plastic case, making it lighter and more comfortable for sports activities. You should also know that both smartwatches have a rugged design that meet US military standards, as well as 5 ATM and IP69K water resistance. So Zeblaze Stratos 4 and Zeblaze Vibe 8 have a similar design, despite the difference in price of 2 times. What's more, the new Zeblaze smartwatches also have the same displays, with a diagonal of a 1.43 inches, 466 by 466 pixels resolution, up to 1000 nit brightness, and AMOLED panels. The only difference between them is that the Zeblaze Stratos 4 has a Corning Gorilla Glass, while Zeblaze Vibe 8 comes with a sapphire lens on the screen. I think that the sapphire lens is better than the Gorilla Glass, right? Once again, we can see that the budget watch has an advantage over the more expensive model. Overall, both screens are very high quality. They support always-on display mode. But do not have an ambient light sensor for automatic screen brightness adjustment. Now let's move on to the functions, and here is one of the main differences between these smartwatches. Zeblaze Stratos 4 and Zeblaze Vibe 8 have different user interfaces. I don't know what they are called, but I have already seen this system of the Zeblaze Stratos 4 on the watches from Kospet, even though Kospet watches cost twice as much or even more than Zeblaze watches. As for the system of Zeblaze Vibe 8, it is the same as on the Zeblaze Vibe 7 Pro. To be honest, I cannot say which one is better right away. I like them both. They are fast and smooth, and they have a lot of functions. Let's compare them. First, you can change the watch face by pressing on the screen. Zeblaze Stratos 4 has 6 watch faces out of the box, while Zeblaze Vibe 8 has only 4. Then you can read new notifications by swiping left on the Zeblaze Stratos 4 and by swiping up on the Zeblaze Vibe 8. The watches also have quick settings menu, which is opened by swiping down. Zeblaze Stratos 4 has many more functions here, and you can even remove or add some that you need. As for the full settings menu, the options are basically the same here, such as display settings, vibration and sound, language, time and date. But the Zeblaze Stratos 4 has one feature that is not available on Zeblaze Vibe 8, namely sport recognition. This is another sign that this smartwatch is better for sports. You know, the new Zeblaze watches have widgets, but they are all on one screen on Zeblaze Stratos 4, and you need to swipe left or right on the Zeblaze Vibe 8. In addition, there are many more widgets on the Stratos 4. Finally, let's take a look at the app list. I will not compare every function here, but I counted, and the Zeblaze Stratos 4 has 24 functions, while Zeblaze Vibe 8 has 21 functions. The Stratos 4 has women's health, altimeter, compass, which is not available on the Vibe 8. On the other hand, Zeblaze Vibe 8 has blood pressure and business cards. To be honest, I don't believe in blood pressure measurements in budget watches, while the business cards are not very useful for me. I was surprised to see that both watches have a voice assistant and a calculator. You know you need to connect the watches to your smartphone to see most of its functions, so let's compare their mobile apps. Zeblaze Stratos 4 and Zeblaze Vibe 8 have different systems, so they use the different mobile apps. It is called Fit Cloud Pro for Vibe 8 watch and Glory Fit Pro for the Stratos 4. I will say right away that I prefer the Stratos 4 app because it has more health monitoring options such as heart rate settings, blood oxygen settings, and stress settings. Both apps have many watch faces available for the smartwatches. You can also select apps that can send notifications to your watch. One of the main and most useful features in the mobile app is Bluetooth call. Let's see how it works. First, you need to add the contact to address book on the Stratos 4 smartwatch and frequent contacts on the Vibe 8. Then you can go to the call section on the watch and make a call. By the way, when someone calls you on the phone, you can either answer or reject the call, but there are no quick replies here. Finally, let's move on to the sports features, and first I want to measure my heart rate and blood pressure using both watches. I expected the Zeblaze Stratos 4 and Zeblaze Vibe 8 measure heart rate and SpO2 almost the same. The results vary slightly, because I measure on different arms. I think these watches have the same sensors. Talking about workout modes, the Zeblaze Stratos 4 has 170 of them on the watch. The Zeblaze Vibe 8 has only 8 workout modes on the watch, but you can upload the others using the mobile app. The workout modes on the Zeblaze Stratos 4 looks much better, because they have much more information about training, and even a map and music controls. The Zeblaze Vibe 8 only shows the total training time, calories, distance and steps. Since the Zeblaze Stratos 4 has a built-in GPS, I want to test its accuracy in measuring distance and steps. Just to remind you, the Zeblaze Vibe 8 does not have a built-in GPS. I will use my iPhone to see which smartwatch is more accurate. Let's go for a 30-minute walk. To be honest, I am surprised by the result, although it was expected. My iPhone says I walked 2.42 kilometers, while Zeblaze Stratos 4 counted 2.32 kilometers, and the Vibe 8 shows only 1.65 kilometers. You know, the Zeblaze Vibe 8 even counted much less steps than the iPhone and the Zeblaze Stratos 4. So I wouldn't trust the sports modes on the Zeblaze Vibe 8. As for the Zeblaze Stratos 4, it measured distance and counted steps really well. It even has a map identical to the one on the iPhone. It has a very good 6-satellite positioning sensors. When it comes to the battery, both new Zeblaze watches have a battery capacity of 500 mAh. Since they have the same screens and similar functions, their battery life is also similar, up to 60 days in battery saver mode, 30 days with typical usage, and 18 days in heavy usage. However, if you use GPS on Zeblaze Stratos 4, it will last for 21 hours. So, at first glance, the Zeblaze Stratos 4 and the Zeblaze Vibe 8 are very similar smartwatches. They have almost identical design, but the budget watch Vibe 8 even has some advantages, such as a stainless steel body and sapphire lens on the screen. The screens on these watches are identical, and they are really good. Although the systems are different on these smartwatches, the functions are almost the same except for compass and altimeter on the Stratos 4. Even their batteries are the same. However, when it comes to sports features, we understand why the Zeblaze Stratos 4 costs twice as much. It has a built-in GPS, which allows it to count distance and steps quite accurately. In addition, this smartwatch has many more built-in workout modes that provide much more information about your workout, including a movement map. My conclusion is this: if you do sports, for example, run, cycle, walk, or do anything else, then Zeblaze Stratos 4 is the right choice for you. But if you just want a smartwatch that looks sporty, then you can go for the Zeblaze Vibe 8. It has almost the same design, screen, battery, and functions, but costs half as much. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon!